What's going on, everybody? It's your boy, Sirr Love. Welcome back to Phase 6, your source for music, business, motivation, and support. And today I got a really interesting topic. Walking through this facility, some people got me checking it out. I guess they want to purchase this space. It's a pretty dope space or whatever. Anyway, reaching out to you real briefly because I want to let you guys know the 7 common thought processes that I've noticed over my time period being in the game that really kick people in the butt and prevent them from being successful. The biggest mistakes that I've seen in logic for people that's trying to start at the bottom and get to the top. So we're about to jump into that while I walk around and check this spot out. And welcome to Phase 6, baby. Okay, so I wrote some notes, so I wanted to make sure I didn't miss any of these things. And a lot of these things really pissed me off, and that's the reason why I wrote them down, because I've seen it so many times, it happens so often, and you guys, that's nice. You guys got to stop, doing this BS. All right, cool. So the first thing that I always see, the first thought process I always see is someone telling me they're not ready, right? You're not ready for what is the question. Like, they're not ready to release the record, they done made the records, they're not ready to get out there and perform. For some reason, it's not perfect. And the idea of being perfect has really F so many people in the butt when it comes to this game. You gotta understand that we live in a time period where no one's looking for perfection anymore. People are looking for you to execute. They're looking for you to put in the work and get it done, right? So saying that it's not perfect is no longer an excuse. At one point in time period, some of this stuff was an excuse. Why? Because everything was expensive. You know what I'm saying? You wanted to produce a record, you had to spend hours, you bill hundreds of dollars an hour for studio time, thousands of dollars to mix the record. There was no online source or place for you to release the records. You had to pay all this money to get it distributed, the printing, all that stuff was expensive. So when you released some stuff back in the day, it had to be perfect. It had to be, everything. And that ideology and that mindset has trapped people as it's trickled down, and word of mouth has kept that crap alive. Now in today's time period, you can make the record on your cell phone, you can make the record on your computer, you can put it out there on the internet with one click of a button, you can mix it and master it for the low. Everything is cheap. It's nowhere close to as expensive as it used to be. You can do a really great project for under $2,000. You can do a good project for free. So that's no excuse. I'm tired of hearing that. That crap gets on my nerves. It's no excuse. All right. Next topic that's going to have you messed up is this idea or a notion that you got it. Like, you got this. You know what I'm saying? Like, for some reason, you don't need a whole bunch of people to get things done. You feel like you're the most valuable asset on your team. You're number one. That mindset right there is going to get you shot in the butt all the time. It's just going to stick you. There's no way to get around it. In order to be successful, you have to synergize. You got to team up. Steve Jobs was Steve Jobs. He was amazing. At the beginning, he needed Wise. Steve Wise. I think it was Steve Wozniak. He needed Wise. Without Wise, there would be no Apple. Without Steve, there'd be no Apple. They had to come together. You guys got to synergize, man. Synergizing is the key to success. Getting your team together, understanding the value of your team, and working with multiple people to get your goal accomplished. You got to do this. There ain't no way around it. You just got to freaking do it, all right? The next concept bounces and builds right on top of what we just got finished talking about. Yeah, you got to team up and everything like that, but you got to also understand the value of everybody that you bring around you. You're not going to make yourself 100% successful trying to keep 100% of everything that gets done while you out there working. You don't understand what I'm saying? You are going to have to understand the value of other people. So a lot of times, what I see people fighting over is this thing I like to call invisible money. And what do I mean by invisible money? This is exactly what I mean. Do you know how many people fight over invisible money? Before you got your first check, you're already divvying up who gets what and how this person's going to get paid and whose value is what. First off, 9 times out of 10, most of you guys don't even know. And let me not even say that, because some people have a lot of knowledge. But if you're unsigned, you're trying to come up, and this is your first project, or you're new to the business, a lot of times you don't even really truly understand the value that people are supposed to have and the different ways to give people the benefits they need and the financial freedom they need from the work that they put in. So how you gonna sit here and fight over money that you don't have? You guys need to understand that everyone that comes to the table has value, and they're bringing something valuable to the table, and you guys have got to come together and stop fighting over money that does not exist. You know when it's time to fight over the money? When the check is in the freaking account. Or when you get to a point where it's worth negotiating, where it's worth bringing in lawyers, where it's worth doing all that stuff. If you have an idea and you and somebody else fall out over who's going to get paid what out of an idea, I think both of you guys are dumb. Just being honest. Just as much as people are always fighting over, invisible money, people fight over imprints. Imprints that don't exist. You want to name your company Get Down Records. This person wants to name the company We Blowing Up Records. This person wants to name it We Rock Out Records, and you're arguing over it, and you're fighting, and people falling out over stupid stuff like names, logos, imprints. Yes, it's important to have your logo, your imprint on there. Yes, by having leverage and have your name out there, it does create an environment for you to make more business decisions and things like that in the future, etc., 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 etc. But listen here, if you're trying to get your foot in the game, you're trying to make things happen, you went to someone to close a deal and they want to take your logo off and put their logo on. This is the question that I have for you. The name of your company or the name of yourself, is it on the check? Is it on the goddamn check? If it's on the check, then F all this imprint fighting and all this other type of stuff. You're gonna have due time to put your name on something and sit there like you're the king of the jungle and do all that flex stuff. You're gonna have a lot of time for that. But right now, what you need to be focused on is making the deal happen. Okay, another idea that I feel like slows everybody down is this idea, this concept that you're ready. Ready for what? A lot of people pass their CD on or pass their music on or talk to a tastemaker and say, listen, we're ready. Like, we're ready for all of this. Like, it's the hottest thing in the market. Ain't nothing came out like this in 10 years. And what the A&R or the tastemaker or the person on the other side is thinking, like, this is the hottest thing that came out in 10 years. So this is better than Adele. This is better than Michael Jackson's final album. This is better than Chris Brown. This is better than Kendrick Lamar. This is better than every album that's came out in the past 10 years. What you have right now is that good. Are you really trying to put yourself on that level? I understand you're supposed to be confident in yourself, but you can't be a liar. All right? So a lot of people have this idea that they're more ready than they think they are. There's never enough information. There's never enough growing. Yeah, you can sing. You might be able to blow it out the roof, but it's never too much to get singing lessons. You're never that great, right? You're never so great that you can't work with other writers and you can't learn new stuff, all right? You're never as ready as you think you are. You're always needing to work and close that gap of opportunity, all right? That gets on my nerves. Stop that. The next idea that drives me crazy is this idea that you have to have the biggest drop ever. Like, you gotta hit a home run when you step out there. You gotta line up everything perfect and you gotta win everything the way you wanna win everything. And everything just has to lay down the way you said it's supposed to lay down. It's just unrealistic. It's just honestly unrealistic. It's not, it can happen. You can hit a home run. A lot of people hit home runs all the time. But the key is that 9 times out of 10, the best way to get in the game is to get on base. Get the hit, get the runs. That's how you win the game. How do you win a baseball game? 1 run at a time. How do you win a football game? 1 inch at a time. 1 down at a time. 1 first down at a time. How do you win a basketball game? Every 1 point at a time. Everybody's trying to hit the home run. Everyone wants to throw the Hail Mary. You know what I'm saying? The alley-oop is worth just as many as the goddamn jump shot. Like, come on, guys. Stop. Like, you don't always have to go so big to win. Get on base. Start small, build up. You want to have the hottest record in the nation. Can you get the hottest record in your city? Can you get the hottest record in your school? Can you get the hottest record on your campus? The hottest record in your neighborhood? And build up from there? Gets on my nerves, man. Get on base, work. And everything you learned about getting on base will then allow you to position yourself for that home run later. The last concept, the last thought process is I already know. Know-it-alls. Know-it-alls. Know-it-alls get nowhere. Listen here, man. I did publishing under my boy Brian Jones at VH1, looking at documents and stuff like that for the Love and Hip Hop Atlanta. I did publishing, overlooking all sorts of documents when I was at Infrared Management for all sorts of hit records that came out, produced by all sorts of behind-the-scenes producers. I've dealt with publishing. I've made videos on YouTube talking about publishing. I've read books on publishing. But just yesterday, I saw a document on CD Baby and they talked about publishing. And what did I do? I read it. Why? because I wanted to see if there was something else that I might have missed. Maybe there's something that someone knows that I don't know. When I sat down with John Sirr, she's a director over at ASCAP. Well, now she's at TuneCore. Congratulations, by the way. But when she was over at ASCAP, I asked a million and one questions, some that I knew the answers to, but sometimes I need reassurance. You never know too much. Stop being a know-it-all. Keep your head in the game. Be a student of the game. Watch that video. Have a video and talk about why that's so freaking important. All right? These are the 7 thought processes that are going to kill you out here. Now, I'm going to list them from the top again. I wrote it down. 1, you're not ready. That's a problem. 2, you got this. That's a problem. 3, mine is worth more than yours. Arguing over invisible money. That's a problem. 4, what about my name? Arguing over imprints. That's a problem. 5, I'm ready. You're so ready that you're better than all the competition out there. That's a problem. 6, I need everything to be perfect. That's a problem. It's never going to be perfect. It can always be better. 7, I already know. There's always room to learn. All right? If you guys can overcome these different thought processes right here, I promise you success is going to be just that much closer to you. All right? All right, guys. So just got finished, checking out the building or whatever. It's pretty cool. I don't know why you need all the freaking space, but cool building or whatever. But before I get out of here, I hope you guys enjoyed those 7, common thought processes, and I hope you can learn to develop to get over some of that. One of them in particular, I want to touch on before I close this thing out, and that's being ready, because I didn't want it to come off like you can't be better than the people that are out there. But I want you to really understand that that's who your competition are. That's who your competition is. If you're a rapper and you do whatever type of music, look at the greatest people in that market. That is your competition. So when you say I'm ready, are you ready to go toe to toe with that person right now? Is your lyrics that good? Is your beat selection that good? Is your mixing, is your mastering, is everything that you got going on, is the way you move, are the decisions that your team is making that good? Because it's not just the artist, it's also the whole process. Are you if you got booked for a show for $50,000 tomorrow, do you have a system in place to be able to manage all that, from collecting the funds to putting it in the right accounts to getting on the road to moving around to doing that? Like, are you really playing at that level? Everyone keeps saying I'm ready, but are you really ready? I just wanted to make sure I said that before I closed it out, because I don't want anyone to feel like they can't accomplish their dreams, but you do have to understand what it takes when you say certain things. I don't want you guys to have none of these thoughts that's going to make you digress in any type of way. Understand what I'm saying? But other than that, it's your boy Sirr Love. I don't know everything, but I know a lot about a little and a little about a lot, and I'm giving you everything that I got right here on Phase 6 every week, hopefully, if I can get one out that often. Let's rock it out, baby. Thank you for watching.
Come on and face it. If you need some marketing motivation, you can learn to transform your life and build your own empire. With Sirr Love.
Real talk, no chase.
Yeah.
Real talk, no trace.
Yeah.
Real talk, no trace.
Yeah.
Real talk, I said real talk, I said real talk, no chase.
Yeah.
Real talk, no chase.
Yeah.
Real talk, no chase.
Yeah. With Sirr Love.